Today, on a special edition of Judge Faith, a look back at the out-of-control schemers who took the top spots on our outrageous scams list.
The IRS agent showed me pictures of her. He said, "You've been a victim of identity theft."
Are you being investigated by the IRS or have you been?
And then,
I didn't steal nothing from her. I still have her social security number, her birth date.
You gave them all that information?
plus,
I checked it out online from where the check came from, and it turned out to be legitimate to me.
Where'd you get the fake check from?
and later.
It was just one lie after another lie, just to cover up the first lie.
Basically, you got scammed by your so-called family friend of over 15 years.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith.
Welcome to a special edition of Judge Faith. As a prosecutor in the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, I saw firsthand the havoc that scams wreak on people's lives. So here in my courtroom, I treat these cases very seriously. Whether it's cousins, co-workers, or business partners, a schemer will always be held accountable for their scam. Take a look.
Plaintiff Jacob Lewis says his cousin stole his identity and fraudulently filed his tax return. He's suing for his tax refund. Defendant Jehoadan Wilson says she doesn't owe her cousin any money because she did nothing wrong. She's accompanied in court today by Joanne Wilson.
So why don't we start from the beginning? Tell me how you know Miss Wilson in addition to being your tax preparer.
Miss Wilson is actually my cousin.
Are you an accountant?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, and when did you get your license?
I am not a CPA, a certified public accountant. I am a business accountant. So I am certified and registered as a tax preparer, and I got registered in 2009.
This is the whole ongoing scheme, Your Honor. This is the whole ongoing.
Okay, so what's the issue?
The IRS called me at my home and says, where are you at? We need to talk to you and everything. They come to my home, IRS agent. I ain't never seen an IRS agent. The IRS agent showed me pictures of her. He said, "You've been a victim of identity theft." She filed my tax return as a business.
Are you being investigated by the IRS or have you been?
Your Honor, I was questioned only because of some things that happened in the business, but I was not involved. I had employees and all that other stuff, so I'm a business.
So according to you, you never finished your 2010 return with her?
I never. She went to jail again on something else.
And in November 2009, you had a case filed against you for an unlawful detainer charge filed against you. What's that about?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know what you're talking about.
You had an unlawful detainer charge against you. You don't remember that case?
No, I do think that's incorrect.
The house that she was in was stolen.
What do you mean by a stolen house? You mean she was squatting?
No, she broke into the house and moved all her furniture in there and was staying there.
Okay, so that is squatting. Were you squatting in someone's house, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you remember anything about this? Is this this is your mother? Would you step over to the lectern, please? Miss Wilson, do you know anything about this unlawful detainer filed against your daughter in November of 2009?
I don't actually remember what years like that, but I remember something about she went to court about,
So she told you she went to court for unlawful detainer.
It was something going on with a landlord and my daughter, and she was going to court fighting, dealing with a situation of a house. Mm-hmm. That's all I know.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
She was being honest. You're not.
Because, Your Honor, it has nothing to do with the case. It has nothing to do with the case.
I make that determination, not you. There are 2 bank accounts on this 2010 tax return.
Yes.
Money is being directed into 2 bank accounts. Who do these bank accounts belong to?
Okay, one is mine, my business, okay? And then the second one is his account.
Is this your bank account listed on this 2010
No,
return?
No, Your Honor.
You have got to be kidding me.
Unbelievable. I told you, Your Honor.
That is inappropriate and it is unethical. Under no circumstances, not in 2015, not in 2010, not in 1965, were you supposed to have funds transferred into your bank account. It's really impossible for me to determine exactly what has happened here. I don't have 4 weeks to spend on this case. You said you withdrew his refund minus your fee of $2,500 for his 2010 refund.
Yeah.
That's the first honest thing you've said in court today.
Oh, thank you.
What I'm going to do here today is what I can in my jurisdiction, which is order her to pay you, to refund you that $2,500. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,500.
Coming up, she had 99 problems, but cable wasn't one.
You know, who wants to go to somebody and be like, I'm struggling? And they don't know what it's like to struggle. They got mommy and daddy. And
why is the cable bill in her name? Don't tell me, well, Judge, I have to watch Empire on Wednesday night. I need my cable. Hi, I'm Judge Faith. Follow me on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Plaintiff Morgan Prophet says she felt sorry for her former BFF when she put the utility and cable bills in her name, but later discovered they weren't being paid. She's suing for unpaid bills. Defendant Brandy Sinnott says Morgan knew she was going through hard times and offered to help out. She's accompanied in court today by her sister, Natasha Sinnott.
Well, we met in July 2013 when I got hired on at the same gas station that we work at, and we started hanging out a lot. We became very best friends very fast, and she had asked me if I would put my name in her utility bill because of an outstanding balance on her old one from a couple of years ago, and also
you said
a deductible.
No, right?
No.
Okay. How old are you?
19.
And how old are you?
30.
And how old are you?
I am 31 now.
And so she put the utilities in her name, and the agreement was what?
Was that if she could not pay the bill, then she would let me know, or she was going to be late.
And did that happen?
No, it did not. So everything was fine for about a year, and then I heard from a mutual friend that she was behind on it and her utilities actually got cut off.
Did you go to her and say, hey, I can't pay this bill?
Who wants to go to somebody and be like, I'm struggling? And they don't know what it's like to struggle.
Well,
they got mommy and daddy, and they don't know what it's like.
We had an agreement,
and
though, about me putting my
And you also knew the situation she was going through.
Oh, so let me understand this, sisters. So you're saying that, you know, this 19-year-old doesn't have the perspective that you all do as the more mature adult ones, right? Living as grown women, making your own decisions. Yeah, you know what? I actually agree with you. I actually agree with you on that. Because that's probably why you went to her in the first place, because you knew she was old enough to do it, but young enough to actually be silly enough to do it.
No, I didn't force her to do it. She knew my situation.
Why is the cable bill in her name? Utilities, I understand, you know, hey, I need my lights on. I have 4 kids living in the home. Why is the cable bill in her name? Don't tell me, well, Judge, I have to watch Empire on Wednesday night. I need my cable. Cable is a luxury. Cable is a luxury. Why is the cable bill in her name?
I wanted cable when I could afford it at the time, so it was just a friend helping another friend. I would have done it for her.
You're 2 grown adult women living in a household. Why do you have your bills in a 19-year-old's name? You're taking advantage of her.
The utility company called me. They said that they're cutting off your utilities for, said I was doing identity theft. I didn't steal nothing from her. I still have the piece of paper today when we had the discussion about her health. I have her name, her social security number, her birth date.
You gave them all that information?
Yes. My mom's the one that said it was identity theft. I did not.
Don't listen. Don't do this again.
Oh,
okay?
Yes, I know
If so,
now.
as a matter of fact, I need to feel more comfortable about when you leave here today, your decisions that you're going to make going forward. If somebody comes to you and they say, I need some money, can you put a loan in your name and give me some money? What are you going to say?
No.
If somebody comes to you and they say, I need a cell phone, but I don't have the credit, would you get a phone from me in my name? What are you going to say?
No.
If they come to you and they say, can I borrow some money and I will pay you back when I get my income tax refund, what are you going to say?
I'm going to say no.
That's right. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $648.33. The 2 of you need to be ashamed of yourselves.
Coming up, co-workers get caught up in a check cashing con.
He stated they issued me payment toward the settlement of $1,900. They gave me a cashier's check.
I never asked for no money or nothing like that of that nature.
The paper trail in this case starts and ends with you.
And later, former friends fight it out over a food truck scam.
In all honesty, Your Honor, I think Monica probably sold me the truck, sold somebody else the truck, and the truck was just being sold to different people. And I thought about it
if
just
I had
like buying
$1 for every
car.
time someone came in this courtroom and said, I trusted him, I'd be rich. I'd have $40,000. I'd be buying your truck too.
Plaintiff Brandy Mayfield says her former friend destroyed her trust when he used her bank account to process a fake check. She's suing to get her money back. Defendant Frank Swain says he doesn't know because he thought the cashier's check was real.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a social work practitioner for a governmental agency, local government.
Okay, so you met him at work?
Yes, and he was doing clerical office assistance type of things.
Okay, so what brings us here today? Why are you suing him?
He had stated that he had won a settlement because his ex-wife had passed away due to malpractice. He was getting this big settlement.
Is that true, sir?
And
Yes, I had been working on getting that settlement for like 6 years because my first wife had passed due to negligence of a doctor.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He stated they issued me a payment toward the settlement of $1,900. They gave me a cashier's check. So we went to the bank.
So he asked you to put the cashier's check into your bank account?
Because he didn't have a personal account.
What happened with the check?
I received a letter in the mail from my bank, and it said that it was not honored. The bank, BECU of Seattle, stopped payment on the check because
Why
it
did they
must
stop
have been
payment?
fraudulent.
Do you have the letter?
Yes.
So what did you do? Did you go to the police?
Yes, I did. I filed a police report in March.
It's a fake check. It's not real. Someone probably created it on a computer to make it look like a real cashier's check. But according to the bank and according to the police, this is a fake check. Where'd you get the fake check from?
At first, I thought it was from the settlement, but I had been friends with several people online. And that's when I found out it came from a lady that I was friend with online.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you just said.
Her name was Lisa.
Who is Lisa? And why was she sending you a $1,900 check?
That's what I never understood, Your Honor. I never asked for no money or nothing like that of that nature.
So Lisa sends you a $1,900 check just because she felt like it. She met you online. You never asked for money.
No.
What online website are you on?
I was on a couple different ones.
What is it? Christian Mingles, Plenty of Fish. I've heard of them all.
I have been on Plenty of Fish before.
This is certainly starting to be clear to me why you wanted to put this check into her account. Let me see the letter. Does she write a note and say, hey, Frank, great talking to you. I just want to send you $1,900?
That's the letter I received with that.
Hello, recipient. This is someone's name, not Lisa. This is from the company's payment department. Who is the company?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Did you ask Lisa after she sent this to you? Did you write her and say, hey, what's going on? Why do I have a $1,900?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say in response to that?
I did email her 3 times with no response back.
I know we are in Los Angeles, but this is not Hollywood.
I checked it out online from where the check came from, and it turned out to be legitimate to me.
I think you know exactly what's going on. This is what I call willful ignorance. You are looking the other way. You should have known. Under the law, it's called willful ignorance. I've seen these types of cases in the DA's office where I work, these fake check cases, and everyone always has a story. It's never my fault. I don't know where it came from. There's no paper trail. And when there's no paper trail, all I have is the person who had it, because I have one person in front of me today. I can tell you right now, the detectives, they are not going to call Lisa because there is no Lisa. You are Lisa.
No, I'm not.
The paper trail in this case starts and ends with you. And to do this to your friend, this is the person you do this to? Unbelievable.
Wow.
Totally.
Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,412.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Charlene Diaz says Malachi took a down payment from her for a food truck, but then turned around and sold it to another buyer. She's suing for a refund for a food truck down payment. Defendant Malachi Reed says the food truck went missing, so he shouldn't have to give the down payment back.
I met Malachi in the 90s, about 20-something years ago, when his family moved in the neighborhood where I was living.
Where is that, in Georgia?
Yes, ma'am. And we became friends. So I became Aunt Maggie to him. My middle name is Margaret, by the way, so I became Aunt Maggie. And his parents became auntie and uncle to my children. So I'm talking to my daughter about getting into the food business because I love to cook. I'm from Jamaica, and I just love cooking. So she decided, why not talk to Malachi, because he has a food truck. I didn't even know he had a food truck.
Is that your business that you're in?
Yes.
You operate food trucks?
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
About 2 years.
Tell me about that.
Well, I'm a chef. I graduated from the Cordon Bleu, and I worked in different restaurants, and I wanted to branch on my own because I just got tired of working for people.
He started telling me that I would make a whole lot of money, and he said, look at the truck, and he told me the name of the truck is Fire, Food in a Hurry, F-I-A-H.
Yeah.
All right, nice truck. Go ahead.
I'm talking about maybe about $5,000, $10,000 in less than no time, because he was making that much money.
Were you?
Roughly. Okay. I had a lot of expensive stuff.
So I got all excited and said, Malachi, I really don't have any money right now, but, I'll try to see if I can borrow some money.
You did give him $3,500 for this truck.
Yeah!
How much is the food truck worth?
40 grand.
$40,000.
$40,000.
And that would have been the down payment.
You're just going to take his word for it that the two of you are going to come up with a mutual agreeable price for the food truck?
I trusted him. And I thought about it
if
just like
I had $1 for every time someone came in this courtroom and said, I trusted him, I'd be rich. I'd have $40,000. I'd be buying your truck too.
I was going to make a whole lot of money. That's all I cared about. So I gave him my money. He gave me the bill of sale. And when I took it down to DMV, they told me, ma'am, the name on the title does not match the VIN number that's on the truck. I didn't understand what she was saying because I have the bill of sale. I have his name. His name is on the title. How can it be wrong?
What happened? What's going on with the title?
The title that I gave her was accident that I accidentally gave her the wrong title.
How is that? Why do you have two titles?
Because I reported to the DMV that my truck was broken into and I want to have all the registration papers.
Okay, but they won't change the VIN number for the truck. This VIN number on the title is not the VIN number on the truck. They don't match. I'm sorry?
That part I don't know. It's whatever the DMV did.
Coming up, more Judge Faith favorites. And now, more Judge Faith favorites.
Where's the right title for the truck? The title. You said this one is an error. Where's the correct one?
I don't have it with me.
I've been asking for that for a long time.
Who has the truck?
The truck is missing.
Unbelievable. After all of this that I'm seeing going on with this title, with everything else going on, and a $40,000 food truck has disappeared into thin air.
I wouldn't say it disappeared into thin air.
Because you don't have the title. I think you sold it to somebody else.
In all honesty, Your Honor, I think Malachi probably sold me the truck, sold somebody else the truck, and the truck was just being sold to different people. And it was just one lie after another lie, just to cover up the first lie.
I looked up the VIN number in a national database, and it comes back to nothing. This isn't a real VIN number. Basically, you got scammed by your so-called family friend of over 15 years. You hustled her. You should be lucky that you're in civil court today and not criminal court, because what you did is commit fraud. I don't know what you're involved in. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's definitely something. And I can tell you, I got my eye on you, and Officer 1 has his eye on you. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $3,500. I hope you've enjoyed this special edition of Judge Faith. When you're considering business deals, even with friends and family, always do your research and never sign an agreement if you don't fully understand the terms. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, thanks for watching.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.